So here's a lot of the feathers I've made since I started making them last year. I like to use different colors and do different patterns with the thread. I'll cut a bunch out at once of a few different colors and then do different patterns. Since I first started making them, I've learned a lot of little tricks to make them turn out more the way I wanted to, and I'll get into that later. You'll see some of them are kind of more shaggy looking, and I'm going to be going back and soaking those in warm water and fixing them. Here's the rest of the feathers that I've made. I feel like roughly it takes maybe an hour or more to make one, because there's cutting the threads and tying each thread on. And then gluing it and hanging it to dry after. So I'm just going to share extra parts of how I make the feathers, because in the video that I included the link for in the assignment, she didn't share that part of things, so I just want to add that part on. For wrapping the thread around the feathers, I use embroidery thread, so it just comes in a little bunch with a couple of bands around it. I get it from the dollar store because you can get lots for a couple of dollars. I have this piece of cardboard. I cut it, I think it's about 6 centimeters, and I cut it on the corner so it naturally just folds in half. And then I just have a napkin or a piece of paper that I folded just to bulk it out a little bit, because I found when I didn't have anything there and I was trying to cut the thread, the cardboard would always get cut. That's why that's like that. So I just have that to create a little bit of space so it can cut the threads and the cardboard ends aren't in the way. So I've just got the end here, and I'll use this side. I just hold it, just have like a little end there. And I wrap it evenly around. I won't do too much because I've already got a lot of this cut. I did a couple of days ago. But typically I would do this all the way to the end and cut it, and make sure when you're about to cut it, just have the part there. Scissors. That way that last one will be the right size, and then just put the scissors there and then cut there. So this is what they look like. They're just little strands that are cut. I'm just going to show how I do the middle part of the feather, like the main part that this little strands get tied onto. So I've just got a length here, and I just hold one end, and the other end I just keep on twisting until you can start feeling the thread get tighter, and then once you loosen it up, it'll start winding up on itself. So it's just about there now. I'm trying not to frown. I've got a frowning problem. Alright, so I think that's good. So then I just hold each end together, and you can see it's starting to twist up on itself. So holding these two ends tight together, then I let go of this end. There. Then you can see it just twists up on itself. And then I put a knot on the cut ends of the thread. And when I start tying, I've got this cutting board with one that I already started. I just got this from the dollar store. It comes in super handy. I just tie it to here, and then within this end towards me, start tying on the little strands that I cut. I'm so just going to do it this way to show you, but the video's there too as well that I learned from. So just around the middle and then do one little knot. And then pull it down to the bottom and pull it tight. And that's it. Okay, so this is the feather that I started making earlier. And for the gluing part, here's the glue. It's just dollar store glue. And I think I might have mentioned earlier that this glue is really good. The dollar store one, because it's thinner and it's easier to work into the feather strands than glue that's thicker or like Mod Podge or something. So hopefully this works. Oh. Okay, don't fall down. Okay. So as I mentioned before, I spread the glue down the middle of the feather first, and then I make sure I just sort of zigzag my way up. Then I go on the other side too. And in the video that I learned how to do this from, she used a brush, like a paintbrush, I think. And I've tried that. I've tried a paintbrush, a sponge brush, toothbrush, and I didn't really like how that worked out because I was always misplacing them and having to wash all the glue off after. So I don't do that anymore. Typically I would use the comb to try to separate the strands a little bit, but I don't know where my comb is. I'm really bad with things like that. So, and one thing I noticed when I'm doing this, I'm just going to follow it so it makes sense to me, theoretically. Ugh, gotta move it over. Oh, that wrecked it. Darn it. Okay, that's better. Alright, so we can see how some of the colors are mixed together. Like the strands of the blue will be mixed up with the white ones, like overlapping and sort of intertwined a bit. So some of the preparation I do before it's ready to dry is separate the colors. That way it looks better once it's dry. I tend to be picky about things. So I do this, and then at the same time as separating the strands, it's working the glue into them as well. And I think this also is where a comb comes in handy, just making sure they're lined up properly or nicely. So we go on one side. And the other side, or next section. so you get the idea. Okay, so now just start pulling it. Then it starts making the feather shape. And then at the same time you can sort of brush the edges so that they're more smoother. And then just go back and forth between sort of pressing them down. I forgot to share another part too. I didn't show it in the video, but after shaping the feather, pulling it along and shaping it on the one side, after separating all the color sections, also flip it over and separate the sections on the other side, and then do some more shaping, and after that I just hang it to dry. That's it. Bye. So I just thought I'd share the finished product. Here's the blue and white one that I made in the video. I really like the way it turned out. The colors are separated nicely, and it's got a pretty good shape, so that it does get quite like stiff from the glue after it dries. So that's that one. And lately I've been making rainbow colored feathers as well. So here's one of the first ones I made, and this one is made with crochet cotton, instead of the embroidery thread that all the other ones are made with. So this is a little bit different. It doesn't separate like these ones do when you comb it out, but I really like the way it looks, because I like rainbow stuff. I was experimenting a little bit over this past weekend, and I decided to put some white in between each color. So I really like the way that one looks, because it really makes all the other colors pop. And also, you can see a little bit there, the difference between not separating the colors like I did with the blue and white one, because the white and the purple are overlapping a little bit, and the same with the blue and white there. And here's another one I did with black and the rainbow colors. So this one's kind of shaped different. It's almost like, I don't know, maybe it's like blowing in the breeze or something, but should be able to see that fine. But I really like the way that the black makes the colors look too. I really like it. I've made a bunch and I'm gonna make some more. So that's it for the feather video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a lot of fun. If you have any questions, let me know. And I miss you guys. Bye.